live. You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good at Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Hey fam, what's good with y'all? Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, let people know we're on the air. You can go to iHeartRadio. You can go to TuneIn Radio and WTCCFM.org to hear the jazz that's playing right now. We'll get something on shortly that y'all can vibe with. But y'all know how it goes. When I play Coltrane and them too loud, Facebook be shutting streams down. So you gotta keep it quiet for the social media audience. Happy Friday. Mother's Day coming up. Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. Getting my Twitter spacers. Got to lock in my Instagrammers. Live on the gram. Peace to the gram. Peace to my Twitter spacers. All right, let's get it, y'all. I'm ready to go. Combination of things I want to talk about today. A lot of stuff. It's Mother's Day, so of course I want to shout out beautiful mothers. Tyre Nichols. Verdict came in. The state verdict. It was wild. And man. And then I got a poll I want to do. Got a poll I want to do. Y'all can start on it right now. And the question is, does sugar go on grits? I say no. What say you? All right, that's the poll question of the day. Do sugar go on grits? All right, y'all can start answering right now. That's a little debate I got going with my granddaughters, and now with some ladies that work with me with the NAACP as well, and some others. So that's the question. Do sugar go on grits? We're going to play some things in honor of black mothers, what black mothers taught me. Salute out to them. Couple stories I got about my mama. You know you got a black mother. You can relate. So rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. What part of the world, what part of the country in the world are you coming from? Happy Mother's Day. Let me get this poll question in here. Does sugar go on grits? I say no. Sugar don't go on grits. tenderness. Try a little tenderness. All right, let's get it, y'all. Let somebody know we're on and ready to go. Mother's Day weekend. Rep your city, rep your town.
Attitude says everything about you. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Every day you get up, you've been given a gift. That's why they call it the present. And it's up to you of how you unwrap it. So yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. So don't let the pain of your past bleed into your present and poison your future. Stop replaying the movie, why did this happen to me? When it's done with you, be done.
Don't be hating on my coffee now. I've read some studies that said coffee has some positive health benefits. Y'all be getting on me about my coffee.
Allow your challenges to be a stepping stone to propel you into new possibilities. So be discontent with your past accomplishment. You're only as great as your last success. So maintain your hunger and your passion. Remember this, within every seed there is a tree. In every tree there is a forest. Who and what you were born into is simply the environment.
All right, let's go.
Purpose. It was not a setback, it was a setup. Your purpose and potential is bigger than your past pain or problem. Listen to your heart, don't let your mind fool you.
All right, do sugar go on grits, y'all?
Whatever you do is gonna surely come back to you.
Let a brother know. Oh, there we go. Somebody said, I see you, Demetria Williams.
Success is not about what you've accomplished, but it's what you have overcome.
She said, heck no. Do sugar go on grits, y'all?
You have to be willing to face your challenges and overcome them. Most people drive 12,000 miles a year moving forward, but most accidents are caused when they move backwards. You gotta stay.
90.7 WTCC. Good morning and welcome to the Black Love Experience. I'm your host, Bishop Talbert Swan the second. Welcome to another Friday TGIF. I want to thank my fraternity brother, Deacon Ernie Johnson, bringing us up into the 9 o'clock hour with Friday morning inspirations. You can hear Deacon Johnson every Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., bringing you the best in inspirational gospel music. Great way to roll you into the weekend. And yeah, it's been an interesting week. New Pope, they're upset. He's got some African heritage. He's got some roots in Chicago, New Orleans, Haiti. And he's anti-MAGA, anti-Trump, and the MAGA movement is melting down over the choice of the Pope. He has openly criticized Trump's immigration policy, he has criticized J.D. Vance. Um, J.D. Vance's theology basically said he didn't know what he was talking about when it came to Jesus. I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing them melt down over who got selected as the Pope. I went on Piers Morgan about a week or so ago to talk about who should be the next Pope, what we should be looking for, and I had some things to say about that. I'll play a little bit of it in terms of what I thought the next Pope should be invested in. And I was on with Roger Stone. I was on with some very ultra right wing conservatives who basically wanted to make the Vatican great again. They wanted a pope that would bless their nationalism, and that's not what they got, and they're melting down. And my position is, man, if y'all upset about Pope Leo being woke, wait till they find out about this dude named Jesus. They obviously have never heard of him. 413-736-2781. I want to talk about Tyre Nichols situation. I went on WVON with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna, and we talked about the Tyre Nichols case, the state case, where an all-white jury. How do you get an all-white jury in a predominantly black city? Somebody help me understand that. Where all-white jury acquitted the police officers that beat Tyre Nichols to death on video. We saw it. We saw them standing over his dying body, laughing and taking selfies. So we'll talk about that. Going to play some things in honor of mothers, black mothers in particular, because it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mamas out there. Put in your Mother's Day shout outs in the comment section. And definitely let you call in and to wish the happy Mother's Day out there. So I'll play a clip of some things I preached about, what we learned from black mothers, etc. And then I got this poll I need to know, and I don't see enough of y'all answering the question. I need y'all to answer the question. This ongoing debate, I started out with my granddaughters, and then it morphed into another debate with some of the members of the NAACP and members of the church. Does sugar go on grits? I say no. You know, I don't do salt, but I do pepper and butter on my grits with some beef sausage or some fish. Um, you know, shout out to the folks over there at Wings and Waffles on Island Pond Road. That's where I do my grits and fish and hot beef and all that kind of stuff. So y'all go on and check them out. Support some black businesses. And I say no. I got to play the Bishop Bullwinkle. Hell no to the no, no, no. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, no sugar on the grit. So I need y'all. Need y'all to, chime in on that. Do sugar go on the grits? So we got Mother's Day, sugar on grits, Tyre Nichols. A lot of stuff happening. Next week in Bridgeport, the annual workers meeting of the Vermont jurisdiction of the Church of God in Christ, where I serve as the jurisdictional bishop, will have its workers meeting Tuesday through Friday. On Tuesday night, it'll be at the Holy Tabernacle Church of God in Christ on North Avenue in Bridgeport. And the pastor, DeVale Hodge, will be preaching for me on Tuesday night. and Bishop John R. Thompson will be preaching for me on Wednesday night. Our own Mother Valerie Fields, our jurisdictional supervisor of the women's department, will be speaking on Thursday night, and I will close out on Friday night. So if you feel like taking a ride, carpool on up to Bridgeport. We'd love to have you worship with us during our annual workers meeting. All right, 413-736-2781. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you are chiming in from. We're coming back with our conversation right after this. Let me see who's already chimed in. Pensacola, New Jersey is in the building. I see a no for the sugar on grits. Holyoke is in the building. Charlotte is in the building. There's a couple of Houstons in the house. Let's see. ATL is in the building. New York City is up in the building. Who else we got up in here? We got Raleigh, North Carolina in here. Let's see. Who else is in here? Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you are chiming in from. Would love to shout out your city, shout out your town, shout out your state. Let me see where y'all at on the gram. Atlanta's on the gram. Chicago's on the gram. Milwaukee is on the gram. Quebec is on the gram. Kansas City is on the gram. San Diego is on the gram. Good morning. Let me see. I got the phone ringing. I don't even know. I hope it's not a telemarketer. Good morning. It is a telemarketer. Anyway, Richmond, Virginia just checked in. Clayton, Delaware. Just said, why these telemarketers always call as soon as I get on the radio? Y'all need to stop. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Y'all rebuke the telemarketers. Go and put it in the comment section. I believe in the power of prayer. Go and rebuke the telemarketers. Springfield, Massachusetts is chiming in. We're going to come back with our poll. We're going to come back with our Mother's Day shout outs. Shout out your mama, your grandmama, your auntie, the mother figure in your life. Shout them out in the comments section. It's Mother's Day, and so we're celebrating Black motherhood all the way around. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
You say you sold out because black women are loud and crass. What? And your precious white woman is the epitome of class? Are you so blind that you cannot see? That pale girl child ain't got nothing on
Pale
you.
girl child.
For hundreds of years we have stood by your side, accepted your flaws and allowed you your pride, bore your children and cleaned up your mess.
Let's go, y'all.
And always settled for less. We have stayed in the background and allowed you to lead, trusting in your strength and ability to succeed, never getting the praise and credit
we deserve,
but having the courage, the will,
and the nerve,
for being the backbone that has kept it together for you and our children in
all kinds of weather.
And now suddenly you say we're not good enough for you. We forced you to sell out because the
things we do.
Well, where was that white woman when that white man
you hate
was cracking the whip? In the boardroom, the warehouse, and
on the slave ship.
She stood by his side and didn't say a word, waiting for her own chance to rule and be heard. And now it's her you turn to and treat like a queen? And me and my sisters you choose to demean?
Well, hold up.
Wait a minute and stop the damn bus. Because there are a few things I need to remind you about us. Listen up. A more beautiful creature
God never made
than an African woman, no matter her shade. High, yellow, red bone, or
Cocoa Brown.
We are more than worthy of wearing a crown. Ebony, mocha, or black as the night. It is we who have always shared in your plight. We are passionate, spiritual, loving, and kind. A more generous heart you'll never find than the one that beats inside the body of a Nubian queen.
Nubian queen.
The hardest working, loving, giving woman you've ever seen. For we give and forgive until there's little left. Then we're forced to put up our guard to avoid your theft. The theft of our hearts and our trust, the very nature of our soul, by our so-called brothers who are just
Playing a role.
And you wonder why some of us act as we do? Take a look in the mirror, because the answer is you.
It's you.
It's not enough that the white man has always tried to keep us down, but our own men act as though they'd love to see us drown. And white women have never invited us to join their equal rights struggle. So we're out here alone with a million things we juggle, raising the children that black men leave behind, and dealing with the racism of the daily corporate grind. Damn, it's no wonder some of us are loud. Hell, we're just trying to be heard. In a world where everyone, including our men, ignore our every word. Where are the brothers who understand a black woman's worth? Right here, who will protect and stand by us, for we are the salt of this earth. We birthed you, raised you, and showered you with love. It was we who taught you to love your creator above. That's right. We gave you all we had and taught you to be men. Open your eyes, it is us, your black sisters.
Your black sisters.
Derek's kind who rate a perfect 10. And one final word for the sellout to
Claim to be brothers.
when you turn your back on us, you disrespect your mothers. Did you hear that?
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? 413-736-2781. That's a response to the sellouts. And y'all know who you is. I know that's bad English, but that's good preaching. 413-736-2781. Again, happy Mother's Day to all of the mamas that are out there. Very special shout out to my own mother, Mother Dolores Swan, who the Lord yet has here with us. And so, happy Mother's Day to my mama, who this year, let me see, this is 25. This year she'll be 82 years old. So, happy Mother's Day, Mama. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bishop.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was listening to you. I'm on Twitter with you live. I put a comment in the comment section. I'm calling from Kinston, North Carolina.
All right.
I wanted to talk about the Nichols case.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Tell me what you want to say about that.
Well, first I wanted to shout out the prosecutor, the black female prosecutor. I think she did a excellent job in trying to drive that thing home, and she gave them so much evidence and just made it plain. I mean, she slam dunked it. So I really feel like that all-white jury was looking at her like, you know, this smart black female. Like, I mean, they just maybe it was that element that, or it was something in them that was kind of like they just felt like back in the blue no matter what, just as long as it was a black person being killed.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the other thing is what happened, and see, this goes to the core of why it's important, for black people to be registered to vote, because they pull the jury pools from the voter rolls. And then it's important for us, when we get that summons for jury duty, to not blow it off, because it winds up in cases like this where it's important that we're there. So most of this jury were imported from Chattanooga. They weren't from the Memphis area. And so you got a predominantly white jury from a completely different towns in a predominantly black city that acquits the police for murdering a black man.
Isn't that illegal to get jury from another jurisdiction?
Not if they can't pull from the jurisdiction that they're in. They're in the same state, and it's happened before. Unfortunately, we have to solve that problem for making sure we show up for jury duty.
So no, they didn't have a jury pool in that city.
I'm sure I don't know why they wound up with those folks on the jury, but you know the process when both the prosecutors and the defenders and the defense get to chime in on the jury pool as they're polling those who are going to sit on the jury. So I don't know how it wound up being a predominantly white jury in this black town, but that's what happened.
Well, they say it was an all-white jury. And Bishop, let me ask you this. This is just an idea of mine. You can tell me what you think. I would like to see a moratorium or some type of official ban on all-white juries just based off the history of America and for the law and, how all the politicians well, the Democratic Party each year is always talking about criminal justice reform. And to see a case like this, and like I said, to watch that brilliant prosecutor lay that thing out like that, and they still voted not guilty.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree.
Like, I see why people don't believe in the system. And after watching that, I mean, how can you trust or believe in the system at this point?
Yeah, I think you're right, and especially in a case where, because you're supposed to have a jury of your peers, and that definitely was not of the peers. Um, that worked to their advantage to get a jury that was sensitive to the police, particularly when they kill black people.
So, Bishop, I agree with that. And Bishop, what you think about the dynamics of the racial dynamics of how it was an all-white jury, then it was three or several black cops. Some of them weren't really Negro American. They could have been a foreign black. But that's another conversation. But
I'm going to get into that when I start talking about that, because I've been challenged with that. Folks were saying, well, this can't be racist, this can't be that, because the defendants were black. Listen, if that victim had been white, you would have seen an entirely different result. I appreciate the call. 413-736-2781. We're gonna get more into that conversation. Let me get this Mother's Day shout out here. And then we'll come back to talk more about the Tyre Nichols case, and we'll get our poll in there. Do sugar go on grits? I don't see y'all chiming in. Okay, I'll put up the call number. I'll get that up momentarily. Somebody put it in the chat section until I can pull it up. 413-736-2781. Here's some things that you learn from black mothers. It's Mother's Day, y'all. Yeah.
Our mamas taught us not to make excuses. They taught us that we got to be 2 times better to get half as much. They taught us that this is a dog-eat-dog world, and we're going to take our lumps. But they told us that when we fall down, we better get up. They taught us to never run away from a fight. Don't be the aggressor. But if somebody comes for us that we didn't send for, that we better represent. They taught us to get up and wipe off that bruised knee, wipe off that bruised elbow, wipe off that bruised ego, and get back in the game. Would you tell your neighbor, get back in the game? They taught us that we are not victims, we are victors. They taught us that we are the head and not the tail, that we are the lender and not the borrower. They taught us that we're blessed and highly favored of the Lord, that we're blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed when we come, and blessed when we go. They taught us that we can do all things through Christ that strengthened us. They taught us to sing the song, victory is mine, victory is mine, victory today is mine. I told Satan, get thee behind, victory today. Tell your neighbor it's mine. Bless his name. Black mamas. Yeah. Did your black mama teach y'all that kind of stuff? Yeah, they had a keen understanding of what we have to go through in this life. And they taught us, listen, I don't want y'all making excuses. I just need for y'all to do what's necessary. You got to be 10 times better to get half as much. All of that stuff they taught us. And we're better because of it. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dad.
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I just called in to weigh in. I don't know where your grandchild got that from. Matter of fact, no, she got that from her dad. Because I didn't raise her on sugar grits. Butter, salt, pepper, and cheese in her grits when I made them.
All right. Well, I ain't too fond on the cheese either, but but I guess some of y'all can live with that.
Yep, that's one call and say I love you.
Love you too, baby. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
All right. That's my oldest baby from the Shy. And you'll see in a moment that there was her daughters I was with, along with another one of my grandbabies, on the whole sugar and grits thing. But let's do a little bit more on the mamas. It's Mother's Day, y'all. After trying to steal stuff from my bike, my mother had just bought a new mop. She took the mop handle, unscrewed, come on, the bottom of the mop, and began to beat me in the parking lot. I thought she was trying to kill me, but she was telling me that she loved me. And as she was beating me, she was preaching to me, Bishop Moore. She said, I ain't raising no thieves in my house. You better not ever do nothing like that again. But ma, so-and-so got this on his bike. I ain't so-and-so's mama. I'm your mama. And I'm going to beat you now so the cops don't have to beat you later. And then when she closed the sermon, she said, and shut up that crying before I give you something to cry about. Anybody had a black mama like that? Oh, yeah. Shut up that crying before I give you something to cry about. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
I just want to chime in on that. I don't do the sugar and the grits thing. And I just want to say happy Mother's Day to my wife, Tracy Morris Mayweather, and my sister, Pastor Gail Hill, who thinks she's my mama.
You got one of them, too? you got one of them sisters who think they the mama? Okay, all right. I understand. That I understand. All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else got a sister who think that she's the mama? Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. All right, let's get this poll popping. Here's the sugar and the grits thing right here. Y'all agree with me? Sugar don't go on grits.
Sugar does go on grits. Exactly. So good.
My granddaughter doesn't know how to eat grits. She got sugar on her grits.
You put pepper on every
You know, sugar don't go on grits. Butter and pepper go on grits. And those of y'all who eat salt, I don't do salt, but butter and pepper, but sugar don't go on grits.
Yes, it does. We can put it on if we want because it's our food.
Clock it. That part.
Sugar don't go on grits.
Sugar goes on grits.
Sugar don't go on grits. There's a song, John P. Key wrote a song about that. Sugar don't go on grits. Y'all get y'all comments in the section. Let me know what you think. Do sugar go on grits? Good morning, caller.
Yes, how you doing?
All right.
When I was a kid, your kid's age, I used to love sugar in my grits too. I ain't gonna lie, but I wouldn't touch it now. You know what I mean? But when I was there about their age, I loved sugar and grits. But I'm calling about the mama.
All right.
Okay, because I'm going to tell you something. Right now, I remember my mama told me, don't climb this tree. I got in that tree and I got stuck. My mama went up there and she got a chair and she sat down and she had a switch. When you come down, I'm going to show you what I told you. Mama, I came down that tree. I thought my mama beat the daylights out of me.
Yes, sir.
And she told me right there, she said, when I tell you something, that's what I mean. And I'm going to tell you something. My mama beat me plenty of times. And you know what? Still today, there's certain things I ain't going to do it, but God bless her, my mama's gone. But God bless her, I know still today there's things I won't do. Thinking about my mama still going to beat me. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. 413-736-2781. Anybody else had a mama like that? Any of y'all know what a switch is? Some of y'all don't know nothing about no switch. Y'all don't know nothing about no belt. You don't know nothing about no extension cords. None of that kind of stuff because y'all just went to time out and all that kind of stuff. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is that you, Bishop?
This is me.
You're talking right now, huh?
Turn down your radio. You're going to get confused.
Okay. I'm going to turn it down.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so this is Montini.
All right.
Here's the thing about the grits. Mama's from Georgia. They didn't have sugar on no grits. And plus, my father was carnivorous. He loved meat. So she would smother chicken. We'd have grits with smothered chicken and gravy and biscuits. You know, it'd be smothered pork chops, ham, sausage, bacon, but never sugar. Salt and pepper. Now, they liked cheese, but when I was younger, I didn't like cheese. I'm still not that fond of cheese, but they would do cheese on their grits. They did cheese in the scrambled eggs, you know. And then I'm going to move forward about the switch. I only had like a couple of spankings because my brother was the youngest and he was always in trouble and I had to be responsible. You shouldn't let James do this or let James do that. You had to go out and get the skinniest switch that there was. If you brought a switch in, that wasn't good enough. You had to go out and get the skinny one. And those were the ones that tore you up.
Yes, sir. I remember those days.
Okay, those were the switches. And these kids now, they go into timeout. They don't get to get a video game. No, that's not how we were raised. And I think the way we were raised is what made us a lot stronger and a lot wiser and better for it. Because I hate to say this, because you know how I am. You got mothers that are out there and they're babies and they're raising babies. That's our issue right now, but we're not going to go into that. That's for another call.
All right. Appreciate you, sis.
But a shout out to all of the mothers out there, and I appreciate you too, Bishop. You just keep doing what you're doing and stand your ground because you are the best.
All right. Appreciate you, sis. God bless. 413-736-2781. Y'all be a little patient. I saw about 4 or 5 of y'all calling in and y'all dropped the line. We'll get to you. 413-736-2781 is the number here. Do sugar go on grits? Somebody needs to be polling the folks who are talking in this comment section. Let me get the number up. Somebody asked me to put the number up. Do sugar go on
the grits? That's what we're trying to figure out. Does sugar go on grits? Yes, no, maybe so. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bishop.
Yes, sir.
I'm from Brunswick, Georgia. And no, sugar do not go on grits. Salt, pepper, and that's it. Yes, sir.
All right. Salt, pepper, and that's it. All right. Go ahead.
I remember my last time was that the church that you preach at was served with all the Baptists.
Yes, sir.
I persuade my younger brother to slide from the front of the pews to the back of the pews one Easter, and all I know is them lip reading, I'ma whip you. That's what happened that day. Then, when we got home, I went and got this little teeny switch she told me to go out there with, right? But when I came back, he stopped me back to get another one. Still wasn't big enough. So she went and got one herself, and then got another one and braided it together, and then she got hold of me. She ain't touched my brother because she knew I was so.
Yes, sir. And see that, and see that's the thing.
All you had to do was look at her, and you knew what that meant.
If you got a switch that, appreciate you, bro. If you got a switch that was too small, that's why you had to come back in with a decent sized one. Because if we bought my grandmother a switch that was too small, she'd go out and like get a whole tree branch. So y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know. And then she whip you with you get these whelps, and then she'd be the one to, rub you down, get some liniment, rub you down, and y'all know the old saying that they used to say, baby, this hurt me more than it hurt you. Yeah, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Good morning, caller.
Hi, I know growing up, we used to go get switches. My grandmother used to braid them. Every time we came back with a small one, she would braid them up and leave the leaves on them.
There you go.
With a switch. But we never ate sugar on our grits until we moved to the city. We from Mississippi.
All right.
When the kids started learning how to eat the grits with sugar and syrup, and I said, oh no, we just do the butter and the pepper.
There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. No sugar on the grits. Okay? No sugar on the grits. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me pull up my man. Let me get my man John P. Key up in the building. I need to get John up in here. Because John tried to tell y'all what the deal was with the sugar and the grits. And y'all didn't want to listen to him. So it's going to be kind of crude because I'm not going to run him through the system. I'm just going to play John right here on the phone and let y'all hear him. John got a message for y'all about the sugar and the grits. Okay, this is the John P. Key.
Sugar don't go on grits. Sure as I'm John P. Key. If you need some sugar,